drinks. So I've put that. Yeah, I want you to see that. I can tell you could. There he is. So that's.
I've
Yeah.
got...
And put that in. I thought that would be.
So you knocked your wedding picture off the mantle and put us there instead, right?
You? I mean, look how lovely that is. I mean,
See, if you tear away the picture behind that frame, it's actually a picture of you and your wife, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I don't see a problem with this. Look how lovely. I mean, that's wonderful. I mean, that's an heirloom. So that's all stuff. So you good?
I'm getting there. I've got my coffee, and got the sunshine. It's a nice day here. From my window, enjoying the great indoors.
Lovely. Yeah, I have to look out of the upstairs window. I like to save some of the windows for special occasion. Lovely. I mean, I know what I'm going to look at, the backs of other buildings, but it's surprise. So that's
you take a holiday from the window to the wall.
Exactly. Right? Just gently walk around, pretend you're somewhere else. I mean, anywhere else would be good. And it's nice. Real nice.
So I figured this is kind of like the blind leading the blind. You messaged me beforehand and said like you had no idea how to do this, and I'm like, I have no idea either. And Stars PR was like sent us this thing. It was like, here are all the instructions. I read them very briefly, with not much, not very attentive to the details. Just thought get it.
Yeah, I read that there's a little button here which I'm going to press, which apparently is questions. So I'm going to try that and see what happens. See what we come up with here. Here we go. First question is, David, will you marry me?
Yes. That came out way too quickly.
Yeah, that was the first.
Who are you? Who are you? First of all.
Question. That's from Jilly. How about, let's have a quick look here. How about this one? This one's for you.
Go ahead. You sent me that. Can David grow a Tim mustache?
Yes.
No, David can't grow a Tim mustache. Only Tim can grow a Tim mustache. David can grow a David mustache. Which is nowhere near as resplendent as the man fur you have on your upper lip. It is.
Bless you.
It's amazing. I actually often get taken by how amazing that mustache is. Look at this. This scruff is not thick enough.
No. I mean, light and matter fall into it. I mean, it's like a force of nature. It's a science.
Is there a brush for it?
I've got a little brush. I've got a little bit of wax sometimes. When the mood takes, little curl the edges up like this, and then I just like to order people around with a stick. I feel that's part and parcel of being an Englishman, is be able to shout at distance with a stick, slightly curled, waxed edges.
Little known fact: all Englishmen are born with mustaches.
This is true. This is
Tim came out with a mustache. And has been shaving it for a while. It's actually the default of his face.
Yeah. I'm all teeth under here. That's why this has to happen. It just hangs like a curtain. It's not actually attached to anything. As it is.
Yeah,
you don't want.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I can't grow a Tim mustache.
This is it. Right. Let's get what have we got here? Davey, will you ever come to New Zealand?
I've been to New Zealand. But I guess that was a future tense thing. Will I come back? If they'll let me in. Well, this is very uncertain times right now. We can't leave the country, can we? Can't enter New Zealand. Even if you're an Australian, I think you have to go through the quarantine process. But all that aside, let's shift the uncertainty to the side and say yes. Tim, would you go to New Zealand? Have you been to New Zealand? I think you said you have.
No, I have. I would love to go to New Zealand. Never. I know a few people in New Zealand, and some wonderful Outland fans have actually sent me stuff from New Zealand. So I would love to go. Absolutely love to go. I think it'd be glorious. Love a mountain. love to hike, love to walk. So, and that's a perfect spot. Perfect
I hear
spot
they
for
have,
that.
yeah, just to tread upon a few tropes and cliches. I hear they have like, hobbits and
Well, this is
what else do they have there?
lovely.
You're
I'm
Go
being
ahead.
asked how much the frame. It is rather delightful. For me, it's priceless. So unfortunately, that's not going anywhere. This is just merely going to be handed down to children.
Are we doing a live auction now? How much for the frame?
A live auction for this. It's not for sale. It'd be like giving up, and we couldn't do that. Hello to Korea. What else have we got? Someone's just asked me what's up. Thank you. I'm fine.
What's up? Doing good.
Do you remember the first time we met?
That's probably not the answer you wanted to that. I remember the first time we acted on set together. I think the first time we met may have been kind of perfunctory at a reading. I say perfunctory because we should, like, readings are very funny things, aren't they? Like the table read.
Yeah.
Like what happens at table read, you get a script and then you sit around and you read the episode or the 2 episodes that you're going to film in that block. Everyone comes in, people that you've never met before. All the important people are sit at the head of the table, the respective ends of the table. You got the producers on one end, then you have Sam, Cat, Sophie, Richard on the other, and then us kind of like other players are on the sides of this big kind of rectangular table. And I recall maybe you were sitting on the opposite side.
I think so. And also, it's one of those things where for the first time, you just walk into a room, you barely really know people. You might know a couple of people, something, and it's all quite nerve-wracking because everybody's there. You've got the directors, the producers, the writers, every member of cast that is in that block. And it is quite a nerve-wracking thing to suddenly just kind of walk in and go, right, and go and act. And you're like, oh.
Yeah, it's often the first point after you've got the job is the first thing you do is you get the read. And when you get the job, you're still not convinced that you have a job. Like you get there in the read and you're like, oh, this is real. I got the job and I want to meet everyone at the table read. And you're like, oh, after the read, it seems a little more real. And you're like, okay, I'm in the show now. I'm in this thing. But interesting, I've heard of people who have been fired after a table read.
Oh yeah,
it happens.
I've heard similar things. Thankfully, it's never been me because that would be awkward to say that.
But let me say this, Tim. Had you been fired after that table read, we still would have met and had a beautiful friendship. It was inevitable. The stars were crossed at that point. And even though it was perfunctory, that's not the most romantic way of, auspicious way of describing our first encounter. But nevertheless, it was inevitable.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So that was the first time. Where are both of us during quarantine? I'm at home. I'm exploring the house on many ways. I like to kind of almost walk out of a room. I mean, maybe this is age. I like to walk out of one room and into another room and then forget why I'm there. I feel maybe age. I don't know if it's quarantine or not. And then walk back into the other room I've just left. Remember it, feel old, and then come back into the room I was then in to then up a tea or something like that. It's I'm doing a lot of pacing. That's mainly what I'm doing quarantine. How about you?
Well, yeah, I'm at home.
Yeah.
In Australia. Yeah, we are quarantined here. It is we're not shut in, but in Australia there are state mandated laws that say that you can't leave unless there is an essential purpose, which could include exercise or visiting for compassionate grounds. Could involve going to work if you're, one of those essential workers, or If you have to go to the grocery store and get food. Um, and but I have to say I haven't really left. I go for walks a little bit. Um, I don't. Yeah, and I have, like you said, like I'm very well acquainted with the inner workings of my house now.
Yes, yes,
Um, it,
exactly how the
yeah.
heating,
Hmm.
those little bits and pieces that
And
you'd have no concept of whatsoever. Like I know where
you know
things.
what?
Someone says,
I,
"Do
I
you know
just
where a dinner place is?" Yes, I do know where a dinner place is. Do you know
I
where?
don't.
What type of
That's the
coffee?
thing.
Well, I can find it.
That's funny because I'm finding that even though I'm spending more time in the house, um, I'm finding it harder to find things. Like
Uh,
I lost my car keys the other day. Like
well,
they can't be anywhere but the house.
well,
But
you would think.
you'd think, but because I'm just so cluttered in this house, I'm getting very absent-minded, like you forgetting where you are. Like my sense of where everything is, I'm just forgetting everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's I should feel like I should ask you a question, but how do I
Oh,
do that?
look, someone's asked here, have you been to Hungary? I'll answer that. Yes, I have. Nice
Yes, you
place.
have.
Favorite movie as a kid? That's quite good. What was your favorite movie as a kid?
Hmm. Can you go for that? I need a minute to think.
It's tricky. One of my favorite films as a kid was the musical Little Shop of Horrors. I used to
Huh.
absolutely adore that. And I didn't realize at the time that it has just such an absolute wealth of comedy gold. There's Steve Martin in it. It has Bill
Hmm.
Murray in it. I mean, it's just got kind of everyone. Directed by Frank Oz, who did the voice of Kermit the Frog. Um,
Really?
just yeah. And it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It's very dark. And the original had Jack Nicholson in it, directed by Roger Corman, which obviously I didn't know when I was 8. That would have been weird. But yeah, so I used to watch that endlessly, endlessly.
Very sophisticated tastes for a kid.
Well,
Um,
I do what I can.
because I've finally remembered what it was. It was Ninja Turtles. The movie
Awesome.
was for sure my favorite. Um, I bought the VHS.
Good.
Um, uh, how that was, I think my parents gave me some kind of an allowance from moving from Canada to Australia for whatever reason, as
Yeah.
some kind of for compassionate grounds. You've
Mm.
as a young kid, here's some money to entertain yourself because we've uprooted you from Canada to Australia. Um, and with that money, I bought the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie VHS, and I watched that a lot. Although, funnily enough, I'd have very little memory of what it was. Like the only thing I can remember is them getting like pizza and sewers and stuff. But I think I remember being slightly disappointed there was nothing like the cartoon.
I quite agree. Quite agree. People are saying Vanilla Ice on the soundtrack. Ice Ice Baby. Uh,
No. It's Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go.
Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go. There we go. You see, and that is
Yes.
my musicals man in the.
And it rhymes too. Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go. That rhymes, doesn't it?
I've tapped into something here. This this has become something more than I ever dreamed. But the way you get questions is, can you see
Okay,
on your? It might just be me. There's a little
might
kind
be
of
you.
check.
No, I don't have that.
You don't
No.
have any of that.
I have a little
I
smiley face thing and a message thing and a I can turn the camera around, but no, I don't have it.
okay. Well, that means I've got questions. What have we got here? What was the toughest part filming? What was the toughest part of filming Outlander for you? What was the
For
tough?
me,
Yeah. What was the toughest part of filming?
um, well, being in Scotland was extraordinarily difficult. Not by virtue of Scotland, but the fact that um, I season 5, I was there in Scotland for a stretch of 3 months in a hotel room, which felt like my own personal quarantine. Because I didn't had no certainty of when I was going to be on set or whether I was going to be in the scripts or what the next day would be.
Mm.
Um, and I didn't go out much. I was just kind of on my own, and which really sucked. And um, yeah, I mean, it's really tough. Like this when you're working on film and TV. I mean, I know that you work away as well, but it's a bit of a holiday for you. For me,
Mm.
maybe it is. I don't want to speak on your behalf, but just being away is really, really tough, and for months on end. And I hope that there's something that you see out of it. Unfortunately, I don't think that my stuff has made a lot of the edit this season. I think I was very happy to be included in the season, but I think that the producers kind of discovered after seeing the cuts, they were like, we don't really need to see Lord John in this moment. He's a little bit perfunctory to the main thrust of the story. Either that or my performance was just horrible.
That's outrageous.
Or too good. Or too
I
good.
mean, yeah, they cut my nude scene, which I thought was a shame.
No.
Really looking forward to that as well. I prepared for it as well, by just being naked a lot. So that was good. That's my method. I feel Hoffman would have used a very similar method. Being, not walking around the streets, that's odd, but just around to the lobby of the hotel, asking questions, getting people's reaction, that kind of thing. So yes, that was a shame there. I mean, toughest part for me, maybe all the buttons, as there's a lot of buttons. I don't mind buttons. I like buttons. I've got nothing against buttons. It's when you're faced with an enormous amount of buttons on a daily basis, and speed. You've got to do it quickly. Would you like breakfast? Yes, I would like breakfast. I'd like it quick. You've got a lot of buttons to get through. What do I do? Breakfast or buttons? And it's tricky. It's tricky because then wardrobe are going to look at you and say, "You're not thinking of eating that with all that on, are you?" And, well, but it's yeah. It's.
Do you have any PTSD? I see. Can you wear buttons now? Button-up shirts. How do you feel about them?
I get a shiver if I see a waistcoat.
Right.
That's true. Anything like that. Velcro, still not a great Velcro, but that's a different thing.
No. And I'm guessing your pants all have zips, not buttons, right?
Absolutely.
No,
all the time. All the time. Let's grab another question. Grab another question? Favorite place in Scotland?
I haven't been all over Scotland, but I really what is it? You go first. I need a second to put myself in geography again.
Where have I been in Scotland that I like? Well, everywhere. I adore Edinburgh. Edinburgh is an absolute favourite. Love it. Glasgow now is a firm favourite. I would love to go to Skye. That is my dream, is to go to the Isle of Skye, which I just think will be just magical and incredible.
I wanted to do that. Never got around to it.
I would love that. Will you guys come to Kentucky? Yeah, all right. Why not? Love to. Thanks.
Been to Kentucky, I think.
I've never been to Kentucky. Love to go to Kentucky. Have you ever been to Stockholm? Yes, I have. Thank you, Angie. Have you ever been to Stockholm?
No.
What Ninja Turtle was your favorite?
Raphael.
Nice.
And there seems to be a bit of a, I've carried that through in my life somehow. I've got a bit of red here. It's my homage to Raphael. How about you?
Very nice. Very nice. I don't know. Ian? Is there one called Ian? Must be one with Marcus the Ninja Turtle.
I know. I knew why you balked at that.
Cool. So it's the last.
You're far too sophisticated for Ninja Turtles. Wow. I'd love to play. I think wait. You This is gone askew. I can't hear you anymore.
I can't hear you. You go ahead and answer if you can hear me.
Tim, I am going to leave and come right back. Can't hear. I can't hear. We've got to start this session again. Leave and come back.
Can people hear me? Hopefully people can hear me. I'm waiting for Tim. Tim Downie, blah, blah, blah. There you go, Tim. Add.
Okay, I hope people can hear me. And I'm not just talking to myself. Tim will hopefully be joined. Can you hear me, Tim?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Great. I can hear you. You're not just a voice in my head.
Still a winner. Good. Now, I mean, we meant to do that. Now it's your turn to choose questions.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's cool.
You get
I've got that.
the little question marky thing. You press that.
Yeah. Okay. David, is that a Raptors hat? It is.
See? It's easy.
There's a lot of questions here.
There are a lot of questions.
I like this one. That's for you.
Does he outrank? Well, there's a simple answer. No. Of course not. But probably yes. I would say he's a working man. Trial. Not in that way, but he's dirtied his hands. Whereas I say that Lord John probably hasn't. I would say he's probably what? I don't want to tell you your character, but I would say we within the English way. I probably fagged for you.
You probably what for me?
It's within the English public school system. You'd have an older boy and a younger boy, and the older boy, the younger boy would they would call it going fagging, which is you'd help him, and that's what it's called. That's what it's called. There's nothing to read into this. Nothing to read into this at all. That's just what it was. That's just what it was called. So I would say that's how.
Wow, you stepped into that.
Don't blame me. Blame the system. That's what it's called.
Let me have it. Let me.
John probably does.
Let me have a take on this. Let me have a take on this. Let's see if we can figure this out together. I was governor in Jamaica. All right, governor is the man in charge, except he's the figurehead of the crown. So he's the main person in charge. Let's go by your research here. Let's see how good your research is. So, governor is the top, right? And then we have the monarch.
But you are a lord. Are you a hereditary lord?
Yeah.
Well, then
yes.
you would. Well, then
I'm actually. But I was also. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. You're the authority on Englishness.
Born into it, then by the kind of class system, you would naturally be higher. Because I am just a governor. I am probably from a wealthy family, but just a governor. You would be a lord, and therefore I would probably have to work for a governorship. I mean, badly, maybe, but still have to work my way up. You, young man, as a hereditary lord, that have said, oh, Johnny, Johnny, lovely man. What's he doing at the moment? Give him the governorship of Jamaica. Just, honestly, absolutely hilarious. Let's see what he does with it. That's probably what would have happened there.
I see. Okay. Well, I love that. And I agree completely. I just glad that. Well, there's so many questions here. Okay.
There are questions. Just keep them going. I think Kyle's arrived. Hello, Kyle. Good to see you.
fucking loved you in the originals. Sorry, that's not me saying that. That was the question. I don't think I was in the originals. Um, uh, oh, that's what is this? Will LJG kick Tryan's butt for messing with Jamie?
What do you think about that?
I think, yeah. I think we're going to see a montage in a later episode of a training montage.
It's like a kind of Rocky thing.
Yes.
You just running up and down steps of the big house.
And punching bags. And,
bag.
you know, honing
like
my
character with a cigar saying, "Come on, you can do it, you can do it."
Yeah. There's going to be a big contender fight. It's going to be Lord John and Governor Tryon in the ring at the end. You're like the Apollo Creed. I'm Rocky, and no one wants Apollo to win in this one.
Honestly, I'm not just saying this. This writes itself. This is, this is sensational television.
Yeah, and Jamie's there in the audience. Is come on, Lord John, kick his butt, and the audience are with me. I'm the underdog, and you've probably
absolutely
maybe you like Drake, Draco, Ivan Draco. Maybe you've been like juicing as well, you know.
Secretly, I have. I think I know this is going to be tricky. Come on, I'd probably have Eye of the Tiger as I was coming into the ring, just to try and psych you out a bit. You know, that kind of thing. Could be a wedding, could be a fight, we don't know. I'd arrive, shrug off the coat, and what I've done is I have a whole body tattoo of your face.
Wow, this psyched me out.
Absolutely. And
well, here's a question.
Yeah.
What would be your music coming in to a boxing ring?
Well, in all honesty, it would. I have a couple of schools of thought on this. One, you would either have something quite emotional to really like something that reminded you of home or childhood, something like that. Something maybe by David Essex or Meatloaf, something quite emotive, or you just go full on. I don't know, Will I Am or something that's really gonna. Why has he done that? Why would he choose that? Maybe something.
Not
yeah.
like
What about you?
Or like Philip Glass or like
Philip Glass would be Michael Nyman. Maybe
Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer, actually, you know, get those.
Hans Zimmer. Hook in to the theme to Thin Red Line would be incredible. And I think everyone would be weeping by the time, or the piano, music from the piano, the opening score of that. Not a dry eye in the house.
Okay, here we go. Here's another one.
Now that is tricky because, as has been described, when I get a head of steam up, there's no stopping. I have been called snake legs, not hips. You notice I didn't say snake legs.
Snake legs.
Because I can keep my body very still and move my legs all over the place. Very.
Okay, so by that analogy, you're saying that you would win the dance-off.
I think I would. I think I would probably injure myself quite badly halfway through, which may forfeit. It's tricky.
Okay, I'll defer to your better judgment because I'm a terrible dancer. What do we go here? That's an obvious one. Come on, that's a alley-oop.
Yeah, that's easy. Oh, favorite co-star. There was a guy that came in for a day who plays my valet, who was really lovely. I asked for a tea and he got it just right. That's tricky. That's very tricky. Would you like a tea? I've forgotten your name. I've forgotten yours as well. It's Mark. Mark, I'd love a tea. How'd you like it? Just like this. If I could just get some oat milk and one, that'd be great. Spot on. We didn't swap.
I've been told I've been told I just ruined that. No one can see the question, so that was your favorite co-star. Moving on. I think we'll take a couple more of these. Gosh. Okay, here we go. What breeds of dog would you assign for Lord John Grey and Governor Tryon? I can't hear you again, Tim. This is a disaster. I can't hear you. Can anyone else hear Tim? We're resorting to sign language again because I can't hear you, Tim. Great. I'll come and join you.
We're trying one more time. I hope there's sound this time. Tim has apparently restarted his phone, and we are really committed to trying to finish this. Tim, are you there? Tim can join. Okay. For Tim Downie. We're all waiting for Tim Downie, and here we wait with anticipation to see if the sound works. I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Oh my goodness! I have never been. That's real drama. We created a moment of real drama there.
That was emotional. That's a proper cliffhanger. Where have they gone? What's happened? Goodness me.
Comedy born of incompetence and
quite dry. Dear, oh dear. What about that?
I think your phone just caught corona or something.
I don't know what. It didn't want to know. Very strange. But we'll. I mean, obviously, we will do a little bit longer because of technical. I think that's fair. I think. All
right. Yes, we've obviously got nowhere to be, nothing to do. Not true at all. We'll go for another few minutes.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. How does it feel to break Insta Live? It feels amazing.
How does it feel?
Okay. I don't know if we can answer this properly. Who breaks most often during takes?
Who breaks most often? That's tricky. It depends. Really serious things and things that require a lot of attention and your sort of effort. I would personally, less breaks the better, because you just want to get it done. You're in the zone. You're in a place. You want to get it done. If you break too often, then your mind kind of drifts off.
I interpreted the question completely different. I meant who breaks, who can't make it through a scene without, breaking.
Well, now, that depends. I seem to have the ability that I just say a couple of lines and people laugh. Whereas me, I'm always very serious man. You'll know this. Constantly serious, very serious work, ethic, all of that.
I feel like you should regale people of I know some people have heard it before, but it's always a tale worth retelling of how many times you had to break. This season, in the wedding of Joe Castor and a certain co-star who would not let you finish your scene.
Yeah. It's a tale of high adventure and high drama. Picture it, if you will, young actor, me. Ready. He's ready for his day. It's a beautiful day down by the river. Everyone's there. There's dancers and all sorts. And I'm beginning my bit to Jamie. He's there. What are you doing here, Tryon? Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing here. Bit of back and forth. Two gladiators really going for it. And as I'm building to the crescendo of my work. It went a little something like this. So Jamie, we will meet you. So compose. So Jamie, we will meet.
Can I be the duck?
Please do, and just come in whenever you like, because that's what ducks do, David. They don't care for drama. They just come in whenever they want to.
So let's give a faux dramatization of this.
So I'll pretend he's here. So Jamie, I will be there. Maybe I've got away with it. Maybe I've got away with it. Maybe they haven't seen it. I'll carry on. I'll go back. So Jamie, we will continue with what we said earlier. Can anybody else hear? Can anybody? Is that me? Am I having a moment? Should I have a lie down and maybe breathe into a paper bag? It was horrendous, David.
I was in the scene with you, and it was no one could not break. It was a very funny moment. I felt terrible for you, but also took a little bit of perverse pleasure in your suffering.
In my anguish, I was anguished. You know, it felt a little bit like, you know, when as a kid, you have a friend and you get on well, and the other friend's a bit of a practical joker, and he says, or she, do you want to sit down? You go, yeah, okay, I'll sit down. And you go to sit down and they pull the chair away. That's what it felt like, but with I felt a duck had taken my chair.
He's not your friend then. He's not your friend, Tim. If that's how he's treating you, he's really not your friend.
And that's happens there.
Okay.
Right, moving on from ducks, because they are horrendous. Yes, I hope they make the bloopers. I really do hope they make the bloopers, because I've heard tell of it, but I haven't seen it, and I would very much like to see that blooper reel, just so I can exorcise the duck ghost. What we're going to see now?
Okay.
I'm
trying to look through questions here.
Okay.
This is a good. It's. I think people would want to know this. So how
are you guys individually dealing with the with the crisis? It is not well. I find it extraordinary, the speed of it, in the sense that, you know, 2 weeks ago you're making plans, and now here we are, and I haven't left the house, which is quite strange and quite odd. Literally taking it one day at a time. I think if you think too far ahead, it becomes daunting, and the scale of it is unimaginable. Like, you feel that you're living in a village, even though you're in a major city. You feel that you're in a village. You don't go beyond certain areas, and it's just a very odd sensation. Being somewhere like London that is so vast, there's so many people, there's constant noise and everything, so that completely to disappear, and it'd be like a village. You'll rarely see people. People are very friendly, which is, people will say hello. But there is always an edge of, oh, don't get too close, you know, that kind of thing. But, so that's what's happening here.
Yeah. We've had private conversations about this, haven't we? About the whole crisis. I mean, it's. I've had so many conversations with many people about it, and the way I feel about it changes from day to day, and how I feel about it changes within the day. So I have so many emotions within a day. Like, I go up and down, and at one moment I could feel kind of joy, it's a beautiful day, and then the next moment I'm close to, like, you know, just despair, and then another moment I've completely forgotten it's happening. And I think we're all just trying to process how to feel about it, you know?
Yeah. Sorry, I've just laughed at that. I said, no one cares about Corona. Let's talk about James Fraser's kilt. Sorry.
Oh.
It just,
wow.
And I thought, that's amusing. That has amused me.
It is amusing, but I think I was going to speak to this very point. It's like, it has been making me think. Like, we're doing this right now, an Instagram live thing for people who are all at this point in quarantine, mostly, well, who should be, and we're all going through this crisis, and it's made me think about what is important during these times. And for me personally, it's the connections that you have with people. So I think that's what's really, really great, that I get to talk to you over Instagram Live, and people get to connect with us. But also, you know, like, whatever Outlander means to people in this time, I think, and how it makes them cope with a moment of crisis, I think is you know, it's a good thing for people to find ways to get through this without, you know, as you said, letting it get on top of everyone.
Absolutely. And I've just seen a question here, which is actually going to be something I was going to ask you. Is what are you going to do? What will be the first thing you'll do when it's finished, when it's done, and they say we're doing great. You can all come out now, like it's been a great big game of hide and seek. You can all come out now. It's fine. What do you think you'll do? I probably just go, I'm just going to watch a movie. I think I'll probably do that. Just go,
so exhausted. Yeah.
So exhausted. Now the idea of going out is so exhausting. I'm just going to watch I'm going to start watching Ozark again. That's what I'm going to.
You're going to go through your Netflix catalog for the 5th time. The entire Netflix. You've watched it entirely now, and it's time to watch it again for the 5th time running. For me, I want to say, like, I'm going to go out and just, like, you know, hug my mom or my parents and stuff, which I haven't been able to do, and that makes me, like, really sad thinking that. At the same time, I think all of us are just thinking, like, is it still safe to do that? I think this is going to change the world. But if I got the all clear, if we all got the doctors all clear, and we're all good, it's certainly one of the things. Hug someone I love.
Yes, absolutely. And actually, I would agree, because someone has said, yes, raising the LeBlancs has just said, make the kids go to the grandparents and take a nap. That is possible. I would do. We're free. We're out. It's okay, everyone. It's okay. Will someone please take my children? Please, just for a few days, so that I can sleep.
You might even send them on a plane.
Yeah, exactly. Suddenly, go and play with whoever you like. Doesn't matter.
Planes are safe. Anywhere in the world is safe. Get on that plane. So I think, oh no, Tim Downie, I can't hear you. We're going to wrap this up. I was just about to wrap this up. I can't hear you. I cannot hear you. Okay, we need to wrap this up. I was just about to wrap this up. I'm going to stop it, and this will for sure be the wrap up. And the thing that I'm very excited to, we have an announcement. Just part of the reason why we did this Instagram Live thing. So Tim's going to leave and hopefully rejoin. There he is. I see he's leaving. I will answer a couple of questions. Hold on a second. Please rejoin if you, let me see. Is he back on? No. I will wait for Tim for a second. I'll answer a couple of questions. What we said? Ooh, so many questions here. It's almost impossible to answer them all. Let me see if Tim is back. He is. Okay. And if this doesn't work, I will just make the announcement unilaterally.
Hello.
I can hear you. Okay,
Ah.
Tim, we need to wrap this up. I'm getting sick of your face and your continual
Does this mean
sabotaging.
nothing, David? Does this mean nothing to you? What's wrong with you, man?
Oh, you softened me again. You're right.
£80.
You get me.
Unbelievable.
Sorry, it's just a very tough time for all of us, and
Oh.
I'm really sorry.
I've been with my kids all day, and it. Oh dear.
I think you deserve some rest. Let's wrap this up. Tim,
Yeah.
Can you say some things about what we have in store, you and I?
We have an incredible thing in store. We have our very own podcast, Outcasts. It's brilliant.
Who thought of that?
It's gonna start very soon. We have some wonderful guests, a few surprises along the way. So be sure to listen, subscribe wherever you listen to and subscribe your podcast to. But it's me and him.
This guy, and
yeah.
The genesis of it, it's going to be a bit Outlander centric to begin with. We have some Outlander people. The idea of it is like it's just two guys, two friends who met on set, who play kind of acquaintances on the show, real life acquaintances. No, pretend acquaintances, real life friends.
Yes. So that's the buzz line. We'll work on that, but it's that essence.
Just came to me. Better than the other way around. Than pretend friends, real life acquaintances. That would be a great thing.
Hence Outcasts. Outcasts.
Yes.
That's the podcast name.
Mm-hmm.
Outcast. So
exactly.
but it's banter and fun and all the things you would want. Outlander stuff, all of that. I mean, you're going to love it.
I hope so. Don't sell them too hard on it, Tim.
I'm really pushing
it. And we should explain, like, the genesis of this came before any of this COVID thing. It's something that we've always wanted. In fact, I think it was after we'd finished filming, we realized that we may not see each other again, and we very much like to continue working with each other. And certainly our commitments to Outlander are over for the time being, but we want to have a way of keeping in touch with our friends and keeping in touch with each other, and just a way to occupy our time. And yeah, hopefully you will
spend time together under the guise of doing work. So I can say to people, I'm doing this work, we're doing a podcast, but it's, we're doing stuff, and I just get to hang out with a mate, which is just the best thing, which is fabulous. As people it will have sound, otherwise it was null and void. But so yes, it will have sound. This I can assure you, sound will be.
A podcast without any sound would be a little bit kind of, stupid, I think. Maybe not. I would listen to a phone with just the idea of you on the other end of it.
You see, yes, David, yes, exactly. That's what it's all about, people.
That's what it's all about. No, but we will have great content. So, look, you can look forward to that hopefully in the not too distant future, with something that we're working very hard to get out there and make happen. It will definitely happen before we're all out of quarantine, and before a vaccine arrives. I imagine. We're working in our own way.
It's one of the it's one of the most unique selling points of a podcast I've heard in a very long time. This podcast will come out before a vaccine, which is something quite impressive.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm sorry. There was so many questions that unfortunately we didn't get around to answering. And before Tim goes silent again, which I believe he may have done. Are you silent? Yes, of course he's silent. I'm going to say goodbye. Tim, you're silent, so just wave at this point. And thank you, everyone. Hope you're staying safe. Hope you're staying well.